days and then you made us like 27K. That's not even running any ads. That was just like, let's activate your old clients and let's call, yeah. And then next thing you know, I wake up that morning, I'm like booking, 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 booking. I'm like, are they already doing it? Like it was crazy. It just happened so fast.
In this video, I'm going to show you how we made this med spa 27K in 12 days, and we did that spending $0 on ads. So I'm going to cover what we did exactly, why we do this every 3 to 4 months, and I'm going to show you step by step how I actually did it. So what did we do? What we did is we ran a database reactivation campaign, which is just a fancy way of saying text people who bought your stuff before and ask them if they want to buy it again. I know, very advanced business tactics that we're going to cover in this video. So that's all we did. It's really straightforward. Why do we do this every 3 to 4 months? Well, the easiest sale that you're ever going to make is to somebody who already bought from you in the past. And so a lot of people are going to obsess over getting new customers in the door every single month over and over and over again, which it's great to get new customers, don't get me wrong. But if you want to build a real business that's a real asset and it's not just a high paying job, you need to focus at least half as much of your effort on keeping customers that you already have as you do with getting new customers, because it's so much easier to make those repeat sales. And at the end of the day, all the profit you're going to make is on the back end for repeat customers. Because if you, let's say you got a customer for $100 and they only spend $400 or $500 on that first visit, you're not making a huge profit there. But if they make a second purchase and a third purchase, you don't need to keep paying that cost of acquisition on ads or whatever you use to get people. So that's why we focus a lot on this. When we run these campaigns, we usually get 2 to 5% of the customers in that list to book an appointment with us, just off of one text, which is pretty good. And so if you had a list of 1,000 people, you can expect 20 to 50% of people to rebook with you. So our client sent us a list, and that list had 972 people in it, and we got 40 of them to book, which is about 4%. So the campaign was for $500 for Russian lips. That was the main thing we're offering. We also had talks in there, and 40 people booked. So that made them about $27,000, including the upsells, because anytime people come in for these promos, you can definitely upsell them. And that's the thing with med spas in general. There's no one service that someone needs and they're like, once I have that, I'm good with every other thing. Like, they always want more stuff. So the whole game here is upselling. So they made 27K with this campaign. And we do this every 3 to 4 months because no matter what time of the year we reach out to people, there's always going to be people who are due to touch-ups at different times of the year. So there's always going to be people who need to get their talks or their filler done no matter when we reach out to them, right? So do these more often than not. At least twice a year is the lowest I'd want to run a campaign like this to my client list. It's basically just free money sitting there. And so if we made 27K with this one, if we run this 3 to 4 times in a year, we'll make between 80 to like 120K just from our existing customers. That's assuming that we don't get more customers during the year, new customers, which we obviously will. So that's why we do that every 3 to 4 months. And as your customer base grows, you're going to make more and more money from these campaigns. All right, so now I'm going to show you how I actually ran the campaign step by step. The first thing we did is get the client list. Secondly, I uploaded that list to our CRM so that we can actually send the text out. And then third thing is actually send the text or the email that you want to run to your client list. So the first thing, which is getting the client list, depending on which calendar you use to book people, it's going to be slightly different. But for the most part, it's really straightforward. And you can actually just Google how to export client list for whatever calendar they use. Most of our clients use Aesthetic Record and Boulevard, and then a couple of them use Gloss Genius and Vagaro. This particular client uses Vagaro, and it's really easy to export the client list from there. The second thing that I did was I uploaded that list to the CRM. The one that I use is Go High Level, but no matter which one you use, it's going to be really easy to do this. And so once you do have a list, you're going to want to get that in a CSV file. So once you export it, make sure you save it as a CSV. So I'm in Google Sheets with this test list. I'm going to hit download and download as a CSV. And once you save that as a CSV, you're going to have the file. And you want to go to the CRM that you're using. So I'm using Go High Level. And what you want to do is you want to go to Contacts. And I import the list, import contacts, hit Next. Move this thing out of the way. Hit hit next, and then you want to click this and then put the list in that you just made, hit next again, and it's going to ask you to map the fields. It's going to want to make sure that what they have as the name column is actually showing the client's name, what they have as the email is the actual email, and what they have as the phone is the phone. So it's going to just show you right here. Make sure that these are accurate. If it's not, then you can just change it here. Like if the name was showing someone's email, then you would just change that to email. But everything's good here. Hit next. And then you can just scroll to the bottom and tick that box and then start the import. And so I just imported one person as a test, but if you had like 1,000 people, all of them would go into this list and you'd see them all populate here. And so then the third thing I did is actually send in the text that we want to run for this reactivation campaign. So you want to pick the offer that you want to run and then send that to your client list. The key thing here is to not overcomplicate it. I'm going to show you what we sent as our campaign, but I want to give a really important tip that I learned from running ads, which is that the simpler you make the ad, like the clearer it is to understand, the more people are going to book. And so an interesting thing that I saw was that in America, which is where I run all our ads, 54% of people read under a 6th grade, at or below a 6th grade reading level, which means that if I'm writing ads or emails and it's above that, then they just don't know what I'm saying. And if they don't know what I'm saying, they're definitely not going to be giving us money. So to actually make sure that I'm not making this mistake, what I do is I use this app. It's called Hemingway. Anytime I want to run like a reactivation campaign or I want to make an ad or I want to send out an email, I'm going to put what I'm sending in here. And I recommend using this if you're doing emails or writing copy or you're making a script for a video that's meant to get people to buy stuff. You don't want to use really fancy language because less people are going to buy. And if you're thinking you want your brand to seem like a luxury, high-end, premium, whatever brand, and you want to use really big words, then just be cool with making less money. Because even the biggest brands like Apple and whatever, they're not using fancy, overcomplicated words. If you look at their presentations, it's like an image and like one sentence that everyone knows how to read. So anything I send out, I put it in here. Make sure the reading rate is like as low as possible. It's going to show it here. And the more paragraphs, or like the longer the sentences you make, you'll see it starts to go up. So like if I was to make this into one sentence, it just keeps going up and up, and it goes up to 16th. And so basically, some people, if they would send out a text or an email or an ad, and it's really dense, and the words are complex, and the sentences are really long, you're just going to make less money. So space out the things that you're sending, and if you can use a simpler word that means the same thing, then use that. So this is what we ran. And it's 2nd grade. So this is an actual conversation that we had with one of our clients' customers in this reactivation campaign. So we reached out, letting them know that we're from the scheduling team at our client's med spa. And then we sent the offer that I ran through the reading level thing so that we know it's easy to understand. Asked if she's interested. She said yes, she'd like to do the Russian lips. And then we just asked when she's available, the day, then the time, and we let her know that there's a $100 deposit. So all of our bookings, doesn't matter if it's a existing patient, if it's a consultation, whatever it is, we always get some kind of commitment, because the last thing that we want for our clients is booking free consultations or free appointments where they just don't show up. So we want to get that commitment, and we do that with everyone. The great thing about this campaign is that since these are existing patients, it's so easy to get them to do the deposit because we already have the card on file. So what we did here is we just asked if she wants to use the card on file, and then she said yes. We just went ahead and booked her in, and it's really just that simple. So yeah, that's it. That's how we made this med spa 27K in 12 days without any ad spend. This seems really simple, and a lot of the things that grow our clients' businesses are very simple. It's just a matter of actually doing them consistently and not looking for the next new, shiny, advanced thing. Look at the money that's so easy to get and then just go ahead and get it. So that's how we did this. By the way, if you have a med spa or you're an aesthetic injector and you make over 30K per month with your filler and talk services, and you want to grow that side of your business even more, then you can click the link in the description and watch the video to see if we can help you to sell more filler and talks with paid ads and with free methods, like just making more money from your existing clients, like I showed you in this video. So that's the first link in the description, if that sounds at all interesting to you.